to Planet Nibiru. As always, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who subscribes, likes, and comments on our videos. It's an honor to have you as part of our community. Today, we will be discussing some rather serious news about the comet that has left the orbit of Nibiru and is heading straight towards Earth. As with any celestial body that is headed in our direction, there are many theories and projections as to where it may eventually end up. But this one in particular is intriguing, and according to one doomsday theorist, it might just be the one that finally does us in. It's no surprise that Earth is in the shooting gallery of comets, asteroids, and space debris, as we can see clearly from this depiction. This is what happens in space all the time, we just don't see it. Most of these objects, the ones in red, are called sun divers, and are pulled into our sun by its massive gravity, causing us no concern. But last year, NASA detected an object that could be a comet or an asteroid on a path towards Earth. The space agency claims the mysterious object will pass safely at a distance of nearly 32 million miles from Earth. But one self-proclaimed astronomer has come up with an alternative theory, suggesting that the asteroid could crash into Earth, wiping out cities, continents, and even causing a mega tsunami. The strange object was discovered last year, and it is theorized that over the last 5 years it has traveled inward toward the center of our solar system, passing just under the main asteroid belt and under the orbit of Mars until it will swing just inside Earth's own orbit. The object, which is a blurred line between an asteroid and a comet, was discovered by NASA's NEOWISE mission. Self-proclaimed Russian astronomer Dr. Diomin Damir Zakharovich has said it is heading straight towards our planet. He states, "The object left the Nibiru system in October when Nibiru began spinning counterclockwise around the Sun. Since then, NASA has known it will hit Earth, but they are refusing to tell people. If the asteroid hit Earth," he says, "it could destroy cities, countries, or cause a tsunami that could take out an entire continent. We are all in peril," he states with a stern look on his face. NASA, on the other hand, does not think the object will hit Earth. Instead, it is saying it will pass nearly 32 million miles away from our planet. The trajectory of the object is well understood, and the object is not a threat to the Earth for the foreseeable future, says NASA. What NASA scientists do know is that the object is relatively large, about a half a mile across. It is also quite dark, reflecting only a few % of the light that falls on its surface. Its body resembles a comet in its reflectivity in orbit, but it appears to lack the characteristic dust and gas cloud tail that defines a comet. The object could have cometary origins, said Deputy Principal Investigator James Gerbs Bauer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. But according to reports, Dr. Zakharovich has said that his data reveals a very different background. He claims that the comet or asteroid originated from the planet Nibiru. He says that the object left the Nibiru system in October when Nibiru began spinning counterclockwise around the Sun. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the planet Nibiru is set to enter our solar system this year, after being driven here by the gravitational force from a binary star twin of our Sun. They go on to claim that this accounts for the strange weather patterns, uptick in earthquakes, and volcanoes worldwide. Nibiru, sometimes referred to as Planet X, is a hypothesized planet, small star, or mini-solar system on the edge of our own solar system. NASA itself claims that there is evidence that there is something large at the edge of our solar system that is causing perturbations in the planetary orbits and possibly causing a large amount of asteroids to be hurled towards our Sun. Some of these come into contact with Earth's orbit, such as the Chelyabinsk meteorite that exploded over Russia on February 15th of 2013. The existence of an extrasolar entity large enough to cause these problems was also proposed by astronomers at Caltech in January last year. Conspiracy theorists believe that the gravitational influence of the rogue planet Nibiru disrupted the orbits of other planets hundreds of years ago, and perhaps even cause the extinction of the dinosaurs. They go on to surmise that the next disruptive passage into the solar system could happen at any time. So get in the comment section and let us know what you think. Do you think that this rogue asteroid could cause Earth a problem? Do you believe that the Nibiru system will finally make its grand entrance sometime in 2017? Do you think that Nibiru is at the center of all of the weather anomalies, the uptick in earthquakes and volcanism that we're seeing worldwide? Please let us know. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with another video very soon.
What's going on, guys? This is Blair 1979. I want to throw out this stellarium chart for the time that I was out filming these objects. As you can see down here in the bottom right, it's 6:50. We're going to go ahead and go forward just a smidge to about 7:45 or so. Now I'm going to pinpoint the moon because the moon was to the west of this object and just slightly south of it. Okay, so here's the moon. Here's south. This is west. The sun is right there, which would be accurate with the filming. Now, if we look up here, we've got the moon right here. This object would be about right here, somewhere in this area right here. Now, I thought maybe Cyrus, but you know, I've never seen it come out that bright, and I've never seen it morph into something as I did this. So this kind of gives you an idea of the position of this object. You know, this area right here, it's a pretty big area, but it's definitely moving, folks. The volume on the video, I muted the volume because, of course, I was cussing a lot and I have a bad mouth, which you don't really need volume to see the video, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm definitely still stunned at what's in the video. May God be with us. I hope I'm wrong. Alright guys, enjoy the film. Thanks for watching.
the whole time. So I'm focusing on my dogs, focusing on my birds to let you know there's some real footage, focusing on my other birds, and then back to the sky. And what you see is the sun don't have a shadow, fool. It don't have a shadow. That's the world on high. That is the what they call Planet X, Nibiru, the New Jerusalem, Wormwood, you name it. You know exactly what it is. Oh, I ain't done yet, because now this is my night vision camera, and this is what I'm seeing in my night vision camera. No, there is no new lens flare at night. That's a planet that you're seeing right next to the moon, and this is the new world. This is the world on high being unveiled. When you see the world on high being unveiled, you are in the end time. I'm shaking the camera to let you know that is no way possible. That's a news flare. Waving my hand in front of it, you can see my red light flashing it. There's 2 planets, and you see this thing is rotating around the moon. This is the moon, so it's planets by the moon, and it's a planet behind the sun. If you can look closely, you can see 2 planets in there, one more vivid and one more and look how large this is. They're all coming down, and you have reached the end, and I don't know how you guys keep playing about in this world, trying to get fame, trying to get money, trying to get this, trying to get that. See, it moved right into there. So if you look close, it's moving. It moved into it, so it moved out of view right there. After a while, you can see it. It's right next. It's right in the moon now, like moving across the moon, right in front of it. I'm still not done. See right there? Now let's darken it. You know what you see? Planets, and you see it's something that's out of this universe. It's moving. It's not like this universe. It's straight out of a flick that you can't describe it. This is coming near, and like the Bible said, men's heart will fail them, and then like the Quran said, the hearts is going to come right up to the throat and choke them when they figure out what the heck is going on. When they actually see it, mass suicide. That's what's going to happen, and mass hysteria, crashes, food shortages, I quit work, all of it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is letting the government tell you what that is, as if another man know what that is. Except for God, He knows what that is, because He's the one who creates everything. So if you're looking at one sun over here and another sun over there, the sun don't have a reflection, fool. It don't. Don't let them say, oh, it's an aurora, it's this and that. This an aurora too? Huh? That's an aurora? Is that one? It's clearly one planet far away and another planet far away. What about over there? The sun is making a reflection over there, down there. See, it's one sun, 2 suns. Actually take the time to look at your sunset. Notice that your sun is in the wrong place. Notice that your time is up, fool, and these people is playing around. Don't you know what's getting ready to go down? We getting ready to go through World War III right now. Armageddon is going down. They all over there in the position, just like the Bible said, just like all of the books say. Gog and Magog war, Armageddon, whatever you want to call it. It is going down. And you see these planets, you see everything, and you still continuing to sin as if you don't see it. You're going to hell. Just like I said, for no forgery, most of this is my backyard. It's film. You know what that is in it? That's red iron oxide. That's coming from that planet that's coming down. That planet is hell. And it's right there. You can see it. And then you know what this is? This is a ship, a spaceship that's coming right out of the sky, right over my backyard. Right over my backyard. And see, something's going to shoot out of the middle of it. That's not from here. And we know it ain't from here. And there's more. Here's another day. When you want to see it, you can see it. When you want to see it, you can see it. You see that dark line? That the sun don't make dark lines behind itself. That is another planet behind there. When you want to see it, and this is darkened up. You can see it. You see those chemtrails? You see those ain't clouds. That is how much efforts and money that these governments is using. That's why they're going belly up, collapsing. That's why the stock market and everything is going down. They're spending trillions and trillions of dollars to try to hide God, try to hide His planets, to try to hide the truth, And then let's go into a space, see every view, every angle, so there is no denial about it. You know what it is. And yeah, I know what's coming with next. Did the cracker say it? Did the white man say it? Did the white man tell us? I mean, come on, you guys are so in y'all wild intoxication of crime and sin in this world and investing in things that are fruitless. You know, you ain't gonna get anything in the hereafter but hellfire. You know, what good is to gain the whole world and lose your soul? Yeah, the white man said it, and I'm gonna let you hear him say it.
But today, scientists from the California Institute of Technology have announced that they finally have solid evidence for a Planet X, a true ninth planet on the edge of our solar system.
It is believed to be far beyond the orbit of Pluto, roughly the size of Neptune, with a mass 10 times that of Earth.
There are things out there, little icy objects that are orbiting in a funny way, and nobody was quite sure why. It seemed like there might be something with gravity pulling on them, but nobody quite understood. And finally, these scientists that you talked about took a really hard look at it, did simulations, calculations, and they came up with the explanation. It probably is this giant planet.
I think I read somewhere it orbits the sun every 10,000 to 20,000 years.
Right.
Is that why no one has seen it to this point?
No, that's not why. It's because it's so dim. It's so far away that even though it's big, it's very, very dim, and it'll be very tough to spot with a telescope.
This world and these people is killing me to how dumb they are. It's red iron oxide. The Quran says when the sky turns red like ointment and the world on high is unveiled, and it is. Then draweth, then comes the end, then comes the war. It's all going down. You know they over there in Syria, all of Armageddon, all the nations, and you know they getting ready to fight against Israel, and not only Israel but Americans as well. You know the bombs is coming over here. You know what's happening. You know you see what's going on. You know this red iron oxide, all these what they call diabetes and all that is increasing, and heart attacks and strokes and all that. That is what this called. Look up iron oxide. Look up the effects of iron oxide. You know why they trying to say it's a medical condition because of the food that you're eating, bad poor diet and lack of exercise. No, look at the extent that the devil is hiding the end. Because if you knew it was the end, and I do mean the end, we only have like if we got days left, and I do mean that. If we got days left, we're doing good. You know, and I can't warn people. And like they said, when you try to warn people, they say, "Oh, it's a hoax. This is all a hoax. We making this up. I'll make the sky red like this. I'm making those planets come. I'm making moons appear in the night." No, I ain't doing that. You know that this never existed before, and you know your end is nigh. In this video right here, this is the effects of this planet drawing near. It has what do you call that? Magnetic field, and as it draws near, the magnetic field, wham, there you go. The magnetic field is pulling. See, the cars is metal. The people ain't. Now watch. When they in the magnetic field, look at on the other side of the street too. Just in that little area, if the magnetic field pull hard right there, bam, there you go. You know, and people have no idea what's going down. What's going down is when that magnetic field hit Earth, earthquakes, everything gonna go down at one time, and it's gonna go down fast, and it's gonna go down hard. And I'm preparing for it. You know, we preparing for it. Bomb shelter, food, water, different electricity like solar and wind power, and everything that we can do. Stocking up food, and what you doing? What you doing? That's the case. This is a warning going out for the people. You know. A lion awaits in the thicket, like it says. The Gentile destroyer has arrived. What is Gentile destroyer? It's a Gentile destroyer to destroy Pekawitz Caucasians. They were meant to be destroyed. Read your Bible and type in Google search the Gentile destroyer. Put Bible and Gentile destroyer, and you'll find it. But anyway, just like I said, our time is nigh. You know, and hopefully you heed this warning and get you and your family together. It's going down. It ain't going to be. Donald Trump is not going to be president. All this shit is going to end before Donald Trump is going to end. You know, and I'm warning. This is my last warning. And you know, hopefully, I don't warn no more because we ain't got no time. We out of time. So I would advise you and your family to get ready and prepare to meet God. For you and your entire family to prepare to meet God. That's it. You know, you have been warned.
it's Steve Olson. This is WSO. We are going to take a look at some planetary shots. We're going to look at my theory a little bit in terms of where it stands right now, and wanted to differentiate for you guys a little bit. WSO is going to continue talking about wormwood. It's going to continue to talk about phenomenon in space relating to an intersecting solar system. GNN, the station that we started out of the backup channel, we had to start because they shut my channel down in December. We're turning that into a news channel. In case you haven't been paying attention, GNN is a news channel. We do 10, 15 stories a day. That sometimes those stories will make it over to WSO only if they're related to space, if they're related to planetary objects, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, GNN is its own channel now, and also the backup for WSO, and WSO is now back online as its own thing, okay, with Steve Olson host, what you guys are used to, and just want to deliver that to you guys because we've gotten to know each other over the last year. Been kind of a tough year, hasn't it? Woo! Anyway, where I've got you right now is at Punahou Lake in Alaska, and we see this double signature red thing and then something else down here. But the reason that I wanted to show this today, guys, is just to kind of remind you that there's a pattern starting to emerge, okay? And that pattern is that we are seeing the red orb, its source, star or whatever it is back here. We're seeing the patterns of these shields everywhere, okay? And to give you an idea of kind of what I'm talking about, I wanted to go back to a couple of the frames that we did before. Now, this one was from somewhere in Europe. And just kind of rolling with it, you can actually see the orb behind some type of a huge ceiling. Now you say, that's ridiculous, Steve. There's no freaking shielding up there. And I'm going to say to you, I have been watching this for a year, and I'm going to do a special study on this to show how this thing has gotten bigger and bigger. And we got this very strange reflection from their devices up there in Hawaii. It was like one frame. And look at the time on the frame. Isn't that funny? 010111. In case you're into that stuff. But anyway, you can actually see how this shielding sits in front of this object and how they actually move it. You can actually see evidence of it moving. And you can see here this actual orb back there, right? So that's the pattern. I know now when I look at all Skycam and I see this, that this is some type of an obfuscation. There's a red ball back in here. There's a green ball back in here. And I think this thing has been huge in the sky for a long time. It reminds me of Sam Hoffman. You guys remember Sam Hoffman? I think it's time to have him back on the show again and sit down and talk to him about these mega. He claims to have watched Nibiru come in back in 2011, and the planets are huge. Some of them actually will cover the whole sky. That's what he's saying. And they've done such a masterful job of hiding it with chemtrails and other types of things, which we're going to talk about here in a second, that we can't see it. Well, I think we're pulling back the veil here when we do this, guys. This is the most important discovery WSO ever made, when we were able to corroborate these two photographs together. So then let me take you to today, okay? Or yesterday, rather. And this is in Potomac, Texas. And again, you can see that shape up in the sky, but it's less evident, okay? What was interesting about yesterday's film, though, was that we were seeing all kinds of objects with their own light. You never see this in stellar skies. Usually this is just a sun. And you can also see faintly a planetary object here, and I'll zoom in on it so you can see. And then in the middle of that thing, which is more or less open, you can see all this garbage going on. And again, go back to this. This is what I want you to remember, okay? That we are seeing things through some type of a large lensing system. You say, Steve, that's ridiculous. It'd have to be huge. That's right. It would have to be huge. They've been hiding it for a long time, okay? This has been going on since 2007. So for 10 years, we've been watching these things approach. The government has been. And it's only now that we're able to start pulling it apart because it's getting so close that it's hard for them to hide their devices and their whatnot, okay? So here's another example, what we were talking about, okay? Now this particular shot that I'm going to go into next, this one was interesting. This was from Europe, and you can see that in that little circle in the middle that seems to be open, you can actually start to make out the shape of the planet right here, you guys. Unbelievable. It's there. It's there. And I had a note from a lady that said, thank you for confirming all of this, because I was wondering if I was going crazy. Well, you know what? they've tried to make me crazy. They've tried to make me a villain. And, you know, I went back and looked at my views back before they really attacked me as a target. And I'm at 1/10 of the views right now. And guys, we are coming up with the best material right now ever. And this is not the time for views to go down. This is the time for views to go up. Now, what's even more interesting about this particular photograph is look at this weird object in the middle. Now, we've been seeing these weird things in the middle. Now it's starting to make more sense. We're actually seeing a planet, guys. And there is a part of it right there. You can see the holes of it. Okay? It's hiding behind that thing up there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a contrast so I can show you. Maybe you can see this a little bit better of what I'm talking about here. And I'll bump the contrast up. That's the planet right there, guys. It's there every freaking day. Okay? And some of the effects that it causes, that are caused because they're trying to do it, are these big halos. And guys, we're seeing the halos every day. This is from yesterday, okay? And you know, on any given day, you can walk out and see this damn halo. I mean, it's getting to the point where cognitive dissonance is freaking me out because I can actually point to it and show people it with sunglasses on and say, "Can't you see the red fucking halo around the sun?" And they can't. I'm sorry I swore, guys. I'm a Christian, but man, I am such a flawed person. I wish you guys wouldn't hold me up on a pedestal. And I don't want you to, because you know what? Don't ever look to me for answers. Look for your own answers, okay? But I'm here to provide information and entertainment to you guys and hopefully give you a little insight as to what's going on. But I think that we're coming very, very close to the event. Here's a picture that we got. This is from February. But again, this is that showing that object that we keep catching, okay? And then we see the strange light refraction, which is a result of that system that we have in place. So imagine the system up here, imagine the sun down here, which is actually artificial. It's just too much to believe sometimes. Here again, another picture of but look at how they try to chemtrail it, man. It's like you can see that their pattern of chemtrailing is trying to hide this object. And this is from the 17th of March. Here's a great photograph. Now this is super zoomed, like 100,000 zoom or whatever the hell it is. And they boom in there, and you can actually start to make out parts of this shielding system in here, and also other objects as you start to really look at it. But you really got to look, okay? Some days you just look up in the sky and you see this. Oops, it's upside down. Let's turn it right side up. Nah. Let's start with the right picture. So I'm going to turn this right side up so you can see it. Okay, there you go. Now, see, check that out. That was from yesterday again, okay? Here's another picture from yesterday. Again, the orange object. They forgot to cover it up or something happened, and we were able to see it. Guys, this has been here since 2007. It's getting closer. We're interacting with it more, and we are certainly closer to the date of having something happen. But now check this out. We're going to talk about this on GNN today. Germany just announced an artificial sun. They're testing it. It's on the open now. An artificial sun in the public realm. We're going to talk about it on GNN today. But man, guys, it's not making us look crazy anymore. It's making us look freaking brilliant. Every time we turn around, a prediction or something that we're talking about is coming out in the mainstream news. Another thing I want you to notice these days is these strange upper atmospheric clouds that you'll see sometimes in the dawn. And if you look to the end of it, there's usually an object here. Like right here, there's an object. And it's really usually hard to see, but this is the kind of trailing that we see from these objects, and they just make it look like clouds. Here's another one of these photographs. This is the second one I got like this one, and I just think this is beautiful, but it really shows everything perfectly. If you know what you're looking for, this is a great picture, okay? And then finally, to look at a couple more things here before we take off, I wanted to show you, everybody's been noticing these weird cloud patterns and formations lately, and anything unusual like this, I'd like to get pictures of it because I'm starting to make out patterns in the clouds of how they're trying to hide stuff. So we're getting smarter about that too, okay? Now finally, I found a new website, and this one is and I'll try to put the clip up there. This is another NASA website with sky cams on it, and in this particular one I was able to catch this little clip here to show you, again, all of these things are being seen in NASA cams. Okay guys? This isn't stuff we're making up right now. I think we're getting close to an event. I think things are on their way in. And we just have to have our heads up. And this is really no time, really, if you think about it, this is really no time for us to be at each other's throats, okay? This is a time for us to start to pull together. And so what are they going to do? They're going to try to pull us apart, guys. They're going to try to pull our community apart. And we just have to let them do it. And we need to stay positive, okay? And so that's where I'm going with it. I'm going to try to stay positive. I'm going to try to stay with it. They've damaged my channel. They've damaged my reputation. But you know what? I don't give a rat's ass anymore, you guys. What's more important to me now is that you guys know the truth. And with that truth, you can make your decisions, what you're going to do to prepare, where you're going to go, all those different things. That's you. That's up to you. All I'm doing is sharing information. I'm not telling you what to do with it. I'm not telling you to believe it. I'm just saying I am seeing so much information, and I've never been vilified like I have been right now. Dude, I've never done anything wrong in my life. I have a couple parking tickets. That's it. And they're trying to make me out to be all these things. So remember, this is the thing. The reason I'm saying this is not because I'm feeling defensive, but I want you to know that if you see somebody get a big pushback and try to vilify their character, Billy Martin's a great example of this, or Meyer rather. Billy Meyer, good or bad, he's got a story. He's got a case for UFOs, okay? We just wanted to talk to him. Now, we got his story. We're going to go talk to Stephen Greer. We're going to talk to everybody else that we can talk to. But the point being is that's just one story. Why do they have to vilify him? Why does it have to be he's from the devil? Why does it have to be his wife's calling him a devil? Why does it have to be all that? Why can't it just be a story? Because they're vilifying him. Because anything that will validate the dialogue outside of the government experience is going to be vilified. And I'm not an authorized government site, guys. They every freaking day I have some kind of a major problem I got to deal with. So I'm just telling you, this is a tough gig. Now, this is my 1-year anniversary of doing it full time. And I will tell you, this was the toughest year of my life. I have so many things have happened to me over the last year. It's unbelievable. I had no idea I'd be doing what I'm doing right now or be where I'm at right now, struggling, trying to put together enough, string together enough cash and enough things together to try to keep this thing going. And yes, it got to the point where I had expenses, but I've cut those expenses down now. And look, nobody's getting rich off of Nibiru, guys. I'm just telling you that right now. And the way that we're trying to support our operation is to try a paid website. And again, we're not trying to make money. We're trying to cover expenses so that we have an operation to tell the truth. You can't do this for free, you guys. Some people can sit down with their iPad and sit down and do a couple pictures. The kind of research that I do takes all day long. There's no time to find a picture like this RTF camera in Koala. It takes time to do this stuff. So anyway, I don't mean to bitch. I'm just saying this is close. It's time for us to pull together. It's time for us to stop pointing fingers at each other and love on each other, man. And I do love you guys, and I appreciate all the help that you guys have given me over the last year. And we are going to do our best to keep this thing going. With that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you. Steve Olson, WSL. Oh, one last message for you. I want to just say, this is a big heavy revy. I just want to say one thing, guys. The God that Jesus came to represent, Yeshua came to represent, was not the same God that was in the Old Testament. In fact, he had to do an end around on that God. And the evidence that I have to that is when Paul is sitting in Greece and he's pointing to the statue of the unknown God. At that point in time, he is only a block away in invisibility sight of the Jewish synagogue. Why didn't he point to the Jewish synagogue if it was Yahweh? Just think about it. This God that Jesus came to represent or incarnate was so loving and just never been seen before. This has never been seen before. A God that loves you, a God that serves you. First time in history, guys. Yeah, I know. Think about it. God bless you. I hope you have a great day.